Hello, I'm Louise Blaine, the news lead for GamesRadar Plus, and I'm here with editor Leon Hurley.
I have officially started yesterday as of this going out.
Yes.
But so we're talking about Assassin's Creed Chronicles.
Yes.
So this is a 2.5D Assassin's Creed kind of spin-off, really, which you've been to see. We've seen the Chinese version already. That was sort of what was revealed. Yeah. But there's more. Yeah,
so basically when they announced everything last year with the season pass that we probably won't talk about now because they took that off the market, but basically when they talked about the season pass, they said Chronicles China is going to come out next year and you're going to get that included. But then when I spoke to Ubi, they basically announced the fact that we've got Chronicles India and Chronicles Russia as well. So we're going to have 3 sets of Chronicles that will take us from 16th century China, and then we've got 19th century India, and then we've got 20th century Russia. So it's quite exciting. It means that we've got 3 sort of newish assassins for us. So we've got Xiao Jun, who, if you've seen the animated series Embers, so that short animated clip, she's in that.
She's Ezio's protege, isn't she?
Yes, she is, and that kind of ties into the whole how Chronicles really works. Is that it's a whole revenge tale for her because basically the Templars put a new emperor in, which, you know, changing history a little bit, and she goes to Ezio, learns to be an assassin, and then goes back to China to sort of take on the sort of heads of the Templars. So she's on a revenge mission, I think. When it comes to India, it's Arbaz Mir, who was in the Assassin's Creed graphic novel, and in Russia, it's Nikolai Orlov, who was in Assassin's Creed The Fall, another graphic novel. So we've got lots of assassins and lots of history. I think what they've kind of chosen to do, and what you can probably see from the footage that you're looking at here, is they're stylising things. So what they've done with China, as you can see at the moment, is they've got lots of 16th century stuff in there, but they've also thrown in lots of modern. So you've got the kind of 300 style almost of sort of splattering of blood and sort of watercolour, and it's all very, very pretty. So they've really gone to focusing on that. And I think if we're talking about something like Russia, for instance, which we've not seen that much of, but it's all in black and white, and there's sort of splashes of red, but they're going in a very photographic perspective. So I think they're trying to take the series in a sort of stylized way, trying to sort of translate the series into something else, because they know 2.5D gameplay is different. So they're making their mark that this is different.
So let's talk about the tools it's using, because it's 2.5D, but it's quite deep, isn't it? Like there's a lot of moving in and out of the screen. There's a lot of kind of depth to it, which quite surprised me. And the combat as well, like, works. It's not just, you're not just hacking forward. You've got like a 360 kind of sphere of fighting. Yeah,
they've made a big deal out of the fact it rewards stealth. So what you can probably see in gameplay here is the fact that you can go in with your sword and, you know, hack and slash away, but it works far better when you're hiding. So they've really focused on, yes, you can go in and out of the screen, you know, you can go down little bridges which will take you forward and the camera will sort of cinematically move you that way, but it wants you to hide. And you can see that each enemies they've all got awareness cones, which I guess for the first time you actually finally can tell whether an Assassin's Creed enemy can see you or not.
And it works. It's very the way it sort of fills up with yellow and then turns red. It's really clear.
And you can see the sort of fragments of animus there as well, which is quite nice. And I think when you're sort of sneaking around, it's a good way. You can sort of sneak in. You've got hay bales back again. You can hide in those, and then there's ledges that you can hide under.
She's got different. She hasn't got an eagle, has she? For, you know, like in the main game, you have like eagles perching on the leap of faith kind of bits. She's got like little.
She's got little birds, like classical
sparrows or something,
birds,
aren't they?
I think they're kind of in keeping with the sort of 16th century tone there.
Yeah,
but she can. The sort of stealth on offer for her is quite exciting, in the fact that you've got things like wind chimes, or you've got a bird in a cage, and if you have to sneak past those because you don't want to wake up the bird in the cage to then get the attention of the guards. So
it looks very fast. Is there a focus on is speed like something you're meant to be doing, or do they just make it look faster when they're playing
There's one particular level, which is an escape level, that you're trying to get through as fast as possible. And most of the levels are much, much slower, so you're exploring things like the Great Wall of China in one of them, which is it's good in the fact that it's very Assassin's-y in the fact that you bring up a map and it's got your exclamation mark on it of where you want to go, but then there's like fragments, animus fragments places and scrolls and things. So I think the fact that you can then You can explore, so it still feels like a 3D world, even though you're only seeing it, you're only exploring it on one dimension.
Yeah.
All ledges and things are interactive. You've got some blood everywhere that you can climb. You can sort of hang on the ceiling and things. And she's got firecrackers to distract people. She's got a rope dart to sort of sneak around on the ceilings.
And she can use that, like she can kill people as well, can't she? You can sort of flick it out.
Yes,
And,
when you're sneaking around, you
Yeah.
can sort of get that put through people's necks and sort of yank them in, and then you can sort of hide bodies and things. So
Yeah.
it's very much focusing on the assassination stealth rather than hack and slash, which is fun.
When the hack and slashing starts, well, how does the sort of combat work? Because we've seen, I don't know if it's on the screen now, but there's like a beautiful kind of, she reaches over behind it, a block, and it looks like it captures Assassin's Creed combat, but on a single plane.
Yeah. So you've got your counter button and you've got your attack. You can also have light attack and strong attack. So you've got enemies that have shields, which you need to use strong attacks for.
Yeah.
There's also enemies with shields that if you attack them, you can then leap overhead and things. So there's a kind of a flourish to the combat, which maybe wasn't there in previous Assassin's titles because of this sort of new dimension that they're taking into account. But when combat does start, it's a serious problem in the fact that there's these sort of reinforced zones where there's more enemies, so they'll appear out of doors.
Yeah.
So they'll all hit you at once, and it's much less forgiving.
Okay.
Than
And are these three separate things, or are they sort of one game and you move between the?
the three Chronicles?
Yeah, so
no, so they're three standalone games.
Gotcha, right.
They do
And
have
your
an
Chinese
overall-
ones first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chinese ones first, and then you've got we're not actually sure which order India and Russia are going to be in, but they're coming out in time for fall. Was
Okay.
what.
You said so. The Russian one you said was black and white. Has the Indian one got anything?
Oh, it's because it's sort of the fall of the Sikh Empire, really. So all the sort of British colonialism is
Yeah.
coming in. So it's all very stylized lines. So and they've also taken things from Sikh patterns and cultures and things. So a sweep of the sword, you can actually see patterns in,
Oh, lovely.
which is interesting. It's just very attractive and gory, and good, and a surprise for something that you thought was maybe going to be a mobile sort of title.
Yeah.
But PS4, PC, Xbox One is coming to all three of them, and
When was the date again? Sorry.
April the 22nd for Chronicles
Chronicles.
China.
Yep.
And
We
we're
don't know
not
about-
sure about the other ones. It's certainly a condensed experience, but it's still the Assassin's experience, which is always nice.
Cool. Sounds good.
So yeah, if you want to find a little bit more about Assassin's Creed Chronicles, keep your eye on GamesRadar Plus.
That was a pretty sweet video, right? If you want to see more, go to GamesRadar's YouTube page over here. Or if you want to read, maybe up your game a little bit, go to GamesRadar.com.